Hi students, this is first chapter in chemistry part in class 9, that is matter in our surroundings. That means what type of matter is present in our surroundings. So before going to discuss about this one, we should know small basic points. So first one is what is matter. Another word for this is substance. Both are same, matter or substance. So the definition is anything which occupies some space and having mass or volume is called matter. That is also called substance. Anything, that means either solid or liquid or gas, which has some space, which occupies some space and having some mass. That means both that the substance satisfies both conditions. It is having some mass, that means it is having some weight, and it occupies some space. Then that substance is called, substance, or that is called matter. For example, take this pen. It is weighing some amount, maybe 5 grams or 10 grams, and if you put like this, it occupies some space. So this pen is considered as substance, or this is considered as matter. Or you can take chalk piece. It is having some weight, either 2 grams or 3 grams, and if you put the chalk piece in anywhere, it occupies some space, so that chalk piece is also considered as matter or substance. So anything which occupies some space and having some mass is called matter or substance. So this is fundamental definition. Next one, atom. What is atom? The finest part of the substance or smallest part of the substance. Finest part, that means ultimate part of the substance. Suppose take chalk piece. If you cut the chalk piece, then the chalk piece is divided into 2 parts. Again you can cut further part of the chalk piece. Then again we will get some more parts of the chalk piece. Like that we can cut the chalk piece like that. Finally we get smallest part of the chalk piece. That can be indivisible. That means it cannot be splitted. That indivisible part of the chalk piece, I am just telling example of chalk piece, that indivisible part of the chalk piece is considered as atom. Not only in the case of chalk piece, you can take any example. If you take pen, you can break this pen into 2 parts. Again you can break that further part of the pen. Again you can break. Finally you reach the state that you cannot break the pen at one instant, at one point. That is part is called atom. So atom is the finest part, that means last part or ultimate part or smallest part. The finest part or smallest part of the substance is called atom. That is also called indivisible part of the substance is called atom. So this is the definition of atom. Next one, element. Element is the substance which contains same type of atoms is called element. I repeat once again, the substance which contains same type of, that means same type of means one kind of atoms. Only one type of atom should be there in that substance. Then only that substance is considered as element. For example, H2. That means H2 means 2 hydrogens present in that substance. That is why H2 is element. Similarly, O2. O2 means oxygen. That means this contains 2 oxygen atoms. So that oxygen is element. O3, ozone. This contains 3 oxygen atoms. So that 3 are same. So that is element. So element means the substance should contain same type of atoms. That is called element. Next one, compound. Compound means the substance which contains different types of atoms is called compound. The substance which contains different, same, if a substance contains same atoms, that is called element. Opposite definition, different type of atoms is called compound. For example, CO2, carbon dioxide. That means in this carbon dioxide substance, one carbon, two oxygen atoms. That means different atoms are there. That is why CO2 is compound. This is not element. Next, H2O. That means water. In this one, two hydrogens and one oxygen. That means different atoms are there. So that H2O is not element, it is compound. Similarly, NH3. This name is ammonia. In ammonia, two types of atoms, that is nitrogen and hydrogens are there. Two types of atoms, both are different. So that this is not element, this is compound. So you should catch the definition. Element means simply it should contain same atoms. Compound means it contains different atoms. Next, molecule. The substance which contains same or different types of atoms is called molecule. A substance which contains same or different types of atoms is called molecule. Element, that means it is the definition of combination of these two. Simply we can say like that. Element means same type of atoms. Compound means different type of atoms. Here a substance contains either same or different type of atoms, so that it is called molecule. For example, CO2. CO2 is a compound as well as molecule. Similarly, H2 is element as well as molecule, not compound H2. Similarly, oxygen is also element as well as molecule. So that is, these are the definitions, fundamental definitions. Next, some more points are there. Matter, that means substance, is divided into three parts. They are, we know that very well, solids, liquids and gaseous. What are solids? The substances which have definite shape, that means correct shape, and a definite volume, that means correct volume, are called as solids. That means if a substance having definite shape, that means exact shape and exact volume, is called solids. Liquids means the substance which have indefinite, means not exact shape but definite volume, are called liquids. This is the substance which have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. In this case, both are definite. Both means shape and volume. In this case, one is definite, that is volume is definite but shape is indefinite. In this case, both are indefinite, that means both means shape and volume. So a substance has definite shape and definite volume is called solids. Definite volume and indefinite shape is called liquids. Indefinite shape and indefinite volume is called gases. Next, there are some characters of solids, liquids and gases. They have strong intermolecular forces. That means between the particles, intermolecular forces are very high in case of solids. In this case, the intermolecular forces are less than solids. That means compared to solids, here the intermolecular forces are less. But compared to gases, the intermolecular forces are more in case of liquids. Here, they have less molecular forces. That means compared to solids and liquids, the intermolecular forces are very less in gases. Next, they are highly incompressible. That means if a substance, suppose a substance size is like this, if you compress this is called compressing, this is called expanding. Suppose if you cannot compress a substance, if you cannot compress, that means if you cannot compress like this, then that is called incompressible substance. Suppose take pen. This is the pen. If you press this pen, its volume or shape cannot be changed. That means it is incompressible. It is highly incompressible. That is why pen is solid. So all solids are highly incompressible. That is the meaning. So all solids are highly incompressible. But in case of liquids, they are more compressible than solids and less than gases. That means compared to solids they are more compressible, which are liquids, but compared to gases these are less compressible. That means gases are highly compressible. That means any gas substance can be compressed in large extent. So these are the characteristics and some more characteristics. For solids, melting point and boiling point are greater than room temperature. Room temperature is 27 degrees temperature. So for all solids, its melting point, boiling point, both are more than 27 degrees temperature. That is the meaning. But for liquids, melting point is less than room temperature, but boiling point is more than room temperature. For example, take water. Water is present in liquid state. Its boiling point is 100 degrees temperature. That means it is greater than 27 degrees temperature. But its melting point is 0 degrees. That means less than 27 degrees temperature. So what is the point? For liquids, melting point is less than room temperature, but boiling point is more than room temperature. For gases, both melting and boiling point both are less than room temperature. These are all very important points. In case of solids, melting point and boiling point both are more than room temperature. In case of liquids, melting point is less than room temperature and boiling point is more than room temperature. But in case of gases, both are less than, both means melting point and boiling point both are less than room temperature. So all these are introduction regarding matter and surroundings. There are some more points, there are some more basic points in this chapter. We will discuss all those points in next video. Thank you.